What is up, guys? Today I am going to bring you a video on this offlane Dawnbreaker game that I just played. We're going to break it down, and the concept of this video is how you need to play if you just need to solo carry the game, kind of from the offlane position, but the mentality goes for any core position. So you're going to see here that I die. They had 3 top. And the reason that I wanted to use this video to cover this concept is this was one of those games where like your teammates are fighting with each other. The team's not like playing cohesively together. And I've found that games like this, it's basically up to you if you're going to win this game. Like, these games are winnable sometimes. Sometimes they're like not. But if these games are going to be winnable, like, it's because, like, you're going to solo carry the game and you're going to make the right calls and you're going to, like, get a ton of farm and be, like, not the carry, right? But, like, basically the carry. So just to show you real quick, I ended up going, that one death I had was my only death this game. After that, I went 14-0-15. I was 777 GPM, highest CS on my team. And this wasn't because I was, like, taking farm from the Ricky. It's because I decided that I was going to need to solo... You know, obviously I was playing my best and, like, trying hard. But, like, at some point around, like, kind of 15 minutes or so, I was like, I'm going to need to, like, carry this game. And this mentality is something that if you think that, like, you're kind of significantly better than your MMR suggests, or like you're trying to climb, right? Like, you think you need to win games of your bracket, or like you deserve to because you've been, like, you know, studying and learning, right? And like you're trying to like rank up. This is a mentality that you need to be able to adopt. And it's a lot of what got me from like low immortal to like breaking like rank 1000 immortal, which I'm not anymore. I'm not, like, smurfing. I've just lost a bunch of MMR, but, like, I am the highest rank on my team. Not quite the highest rank in the game. Like, this is a game where I should be able to, like, exert a lot of influence. And these games, you have to be able to, like, take advantage and play like that. If I had just played, like, kind of my normal game and not tried to, like, carry right, like, with the whole dynamic of the team and the way we were playing, I just did not think it was going to be enough. So let's walk through this game. Sorry for the long intro. I will just walk through kind of everything, because I haven't done like a real walkthrough for a while. So we're trading here a lot. I bought some extra regen to start the lane. That was like before I ended up dying, but I am going to get a lot of regen here. A little weak, but Dawnbreaker's very strong level 2. They have this Legion carry. Kind of a weird game, but we do get a counter kill here. And the important thing is to just continue flying out regen and regenning up. So you can see I'm adding the stick, but I'm adding another mango. I'm getting the bracer. I want the passive regen. There's going to be a lot of harass in this lane. Flying out mangoes, the HP regen helps, and obviously the mana regen is really nice. In lanes like this, where you're really not going to have time to clarity up, like, just fly out the mangoes. Later on, like, when you're, like, kind of just farming, you fly out clarities. But for now, flying out the mangoes. Hope you guys had a good holiday. I did. It's kind of why I've slowed down making videos and whatnot. I've been pretty busy, but, you know, we are going to be back. So this lane proceeds to go really well. I'm queuing up raindrops next. Playing for CS here. Not really too concerned about the Legion. My Rubik's doing some nice harass. But we are playing only for CS here. You can see we didn't start that good, like, because we died, and then there was, like, still a couple heroes here, but we're going to be catching up pretty quick here. And my Rubik has harassed this guy down enough to where we can go on him, and it's just that simple. And here, I chase this guy, but I decide... Oh, I do die. There's a different situation where there's some time later where I chase him and then I don't dive. So, had the mango. All the regen really comes in handy, and being able to, like, take these trades and, like, still have the mana at the end to use, like, a second set of spells. Sitting around at 1/3 mana and not having, like, mangoes is, like, pretty bad. So make sure you're flying out those mangoes. Got the raindrop. This dude's, like, kind of trying to burn it. Just, like, unfortunate, but maybe he'll be out of mana after burning it all, and he won't be able to do stuff. So over here, walking to make sure that the Zeus is not just hanging out here, because like the Zeus is hanging out here, he's dead, right? And there's no creeps to hit. So that's like the point of this movement. It's like just a very aggressive movement, and if Zeus is there, he's dead. This is just like a casual aggressive Starbreaker. Probably not worth. I thought if I like hit him though, like a little cheeky, he wouldn't be expecting it, and it'd be like really good harass. And you can see like it adds up. Just doing this damage, even if you're not killing them, is important. So every time he walks up, I'm just hitting him. And here we've got the final Starbreaker with the stick charges that we had, plus the raindrop regen. Barely got us enough mana. I'm flying out phase boots now, and I'm flying out more mangoes. On Dawnbreaker, I've been spamming this hero a lot off lane. It's kind of my go-to off laner right now, besides Razor. And I feel like it's been pretty good for the most part. Almost all these games from December. My December games start here, so I have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've lost 4. So 6 and 4, not too bad. The hero feels pretty strong right now. Even with the Luminosity heal is bugged on creeps right now. And even with that, it still feels really good. I just feel like I can have a lot of impact in all of my games. Kind of like Mars used to be, you know? You just pick Mars and, like, you can lane, you can have impact later, you can get really strong and solo carry the game. That's kind of why I like the hero right now. And so, Magic Wand, obviously good. They're spamming spells. Bracer, we want the regen and the stats. Raindrop, really good. This game, I don't go Falcon Blade. Sometimes I do go Falcon Blade. I've been going it a lot recently. But this game, I just like Falcon Blade into Deso. But this game, I decided to go the Echo Saber just to tank up a little bit more. The Echo Saber provides quite a bit more HP than the Falcon Blade. 260. Well, it's 260 as opposed to 200, but it gives you the innate mana regen. It's less money, and it lets you proceed into your other items faster. I thought if I went Deso this game, I'd be really squishy. Like, they have a lot of high damage, like a lot of burst magic damage with the Legion, and then with the Legion, like, duel. I just thought this was a good Echo Saber game, so that's why I end up going. But I do go Falcon Blade a lot, but that's why I didn't go at this game. I just didn't think that I would have enough HP. So something you can do here, once you've, like, killed them and shove the lane into their tower, is drag the next wave, because otherwise this wave would die under this tower right now. The creeps would kill it. I don't really want to CS under their tower right now. So the key is to drag. The idea would be to drag it and have it meet the next wave. My Rubik kind of pulled into this. We weren't really on the same page here, but that's the idea of this movement. I ended up kind of dragging this into the camp, which is like not really intentional. I just wasn't really like thinking about it. I should have just dragged it further around and over to meet this wave. 100% is that's what I should have done. Not the end of the world. But the whole getting the creeps to begin with behind so they don't like die under the tower is important to do. So throwing out some casual harass here. At this point, when you're like really strong, even though I'm like not higher level, right? We've been killing them. I have a lot of net worth on this guy, I think. Yeah, I have like 900 net worth on this guy. When you're like strong like this, right? Keep flying out the regions so you can do this, and then just harass them, right? We don't end up getting the kill here, unfortunately. I kind of like burn my ulti here. It doesn't heal yourself, fun fact. Don't really get anything out of it. TP out. I would have walked base if I didn't have mana for TP, but I just had mana for TP with my stick. It's better if you can TP base and then walk back, because then your next TP will be off cooldown sooner. If the whole point is you're going to go back to the lane you were just at, and you're going to use a TP to go one of the directions. So that's the point. Not a huge deal. Walk base because I was out of resources, like completely out. Not worth flying like a salve and 3 mangoes, right? That's a lot of net worth to invest. Just do the walk back. Not a huge deal. We're still having a really good game. And then we just walk back to the lane. And we proceed to get the another TP, obviously, and a Sage's Mask. And here, I'm just in CS mode. You can see I have, besides the 2 mid-heroes, I have come to the top of the net worth. And I'm really just focusing on the CS for the most part. There's LC here. I don't know how tower aggro works. I feel like there's a bug where tower aggro like doesn't come off you. I was like A-kicking my creeps like 12 times there, and I don't know, maybe I accidentally right-clicked Legion sometime in the middle of that, but I felt like I was doing it right, and it just wasn't working. There, I thought it was worth it to just use health and mana to farm, because I'm like really ahead. And that just like amps your efficiency, right? This is like a stacked big camp. Have the support help out. Just jacking my efficiency at this point. The Legion doesn't seem like he's contesting the lane, so I didn't think I needed to be at like full health, full mana. And you can see I just feel really strong. I'm just looking around to farm. The Alks here. I'm kind of just like thinking and looking for opportunities, or maybe to farm a camp. Doing some casual harass. Making sure while you dive to not right-click and draw tower aggro. This is important. So I was running at this guy to kind of make him afraid. This also can just bait reactions. Like if somebody started TPing here, I would just run away, right? Part of what you're looking to do is bait reactions, and if they don't, then the Rubik comes in, and we should clean this up. So I'm very carefully not clicking on him. And here I click on him, and then Rubik finally connects, and we pick up another kill. So that's just why this casual harass is so important. Once you're this far ahead, the casual harass makes so they just can't lane, right? He just can't stick around and deal with this harass. He doesn't have a way to regen at all. Unless he's constantly buying regen, and he's basically stopped buying regen at this point. So there's not really a lot this Legion can do about this, but any carry would be in the same situation, right? So, okay, we're back to CSing, and they have an Alchemist who we're like running out in the jungle. I see this, and I'm like, okay, well I have ult if anything happens, that's why I'm watching, but the most important thing I can do is like collapse the map by taking this tower. So I'm watching for my ults, but I really want to take this tower right now. I would ulti if I needed to, of course, like my team like needed it, but otherwise I am focused on the tower. I bought the mana regen component of the Echo Saber first, just so I can farm more. And more clarity. See, at this point, I will get clarities. Here, my Huskar was spam pinging my Solar Guardian, which I was very confused about, because the Alk insta-TP'd. But this was like the first indicator. I was like when your teammates like are getting like upset about dumb things, that's like your first indicator, like, this game's not gonna go that well. And that's like a first indication to me, like, okay, like I might need to like, you know, pull more than my fair share of my weight, if you know what I mean. Getting the concept of the video. So cutting the next creep wave here super deep because I can. Stealing this farm here at this this camp, really important because they have an Alk, right? This Alk is scrounging for farm. This LC is not farming anywhere. So any camp you can take near their side of the map where they're farming is super value. Here I would have ulted my Huskar. This is what I mean, right? This Huskar like dying here to the Lich. I'm like, okay, like this guy is not the smartest cookie in a jar. So I don't know why they glyphed the creep wave. I think like I see this happen. I've never done this, but like you can glyph a creep wave that somebody's trying to kill to get them to hang around longer, because I'm positive these three heroes to kill the Alk were like chasing me, right? But I run up right away, TP out, and don't TP base, obviously. We want to farm mid or wherever there's farm available. Just harassing this Alk a little bit and going for the denies here. Well, I try and chase him away, but then I get some denies. Just deny him any farm he can get, right? It's an Alchemist. It's so important. Finish the Echo Saber. Mostly looking to farm here, and you can tell here, again, both my supports, for some reason, have been hanging out bottom for like a long time. And there's like an offlane sniper here, and they did kill him somehow, which is like cool, right? My Ricky's got a defusal, but like I don't know why my supports are playing down here when they have like an Alchemist, right, farming up here somewhere, like hanging out mid. Like what you don't want to do is you don't want to go in their triangle, right? If the Alk wants to farm the triangle, fine. That's like the two camps that he can have. But we want to deny this whole area from them, and there's no and like if the sniper's playing in this lane down here, there's no reason for all three of our heroes to like be down here, unless you're going for a specific play. But they've been down there forever. So that was another indicator to me. I was like, okay, my team just like continuously is playing bottom for no reason. So that's another indication to me that like, all right, I need to like kind of carry this game because like my team's gonna do some really dumb stuff. Luckily, they do rotate mid. We get a nice kill on the Alk. I had this sentry around. I bought it earlier because their Rubik was like not blocking the camp or something, I think. I don't know. I had it earlier. This again, your team's doing stuff like this. Your team is like feeding in their triangle for no reason, right? The Alk's dead. They're not going for a kill. We know they're not here. We know they're not here. So like they have to all be here. And then my two supports are just like casually sitting in their triangle for no reason. So this is the kind of stuff that should be screaming to you, like, okay, my team is playing, like, Papegas, and we need to, like, carry this game. So that's, like, my mindset at, like, this point going forward. Like, all this stuff has happened, and I'm like, alright, I am gonna have to, like, carry this game. So that just goes into, like, my item build mostly, and, like, kind of how greedy I play. Not so much, like, right, I'm still gonna, like, do the things I think are correct. I'm just gonna, like, play greedier for myself, and not try and rush things, basically, as we'll see later. Yeah, I think I'm asking my team at this point, like, can we stop the Alk from farming? But otherwise, I'm just chilling mid. Watch my Huskar, because I do have my Solar Guardian. Like, I'd be happy for him to, like, jump on, like, the Alk, right? And then I can, like, connect and we kill the Alk. That's, like, a huge kill. Or, like, if the LC goes on him and I can bait it, I'm also okay with that. Dawn is a very good LC counter for that reason. So here I do come in, even though they brought a bunch of heroes, and this ends up working out because my team does connect. So nice play setup from us. Luckily my team connected. I fogged this Alk so that he couldn't, like, stun me then hit me. He, like, stunned himself and get an ultra on the Ricky. Alk TP's out. But we're happy with this, right? So what do we do now? Split up and farm. So this kind of goes into, like, what I said, like, being more greedy, right? If I was in, like, a normal game, I wouldn't necessarily TP bottom here. Like, Roshan is available, and if I thought my team was super confident, I might just hang out here, farm, wait for Huskar to respawn, and we, like, take Rosh. Like, that's what, like, a higher level game in my head would, like, happen, and I just don't really trust my team. So I'm just making kind of the slightly greedier, slower play. And you might think that's weird against an Alchemist, but we're, like, kind of so far ahead in winning these fights that as long as the, like, it's okay. People don't know this about Alk, but it's, like, okay if Alk, like, farms a bit. Like, what's not okay is if he's, like, free farming while his team's, like, running you over on the side. Like, that's bad, obviously. Or if Alk's getting, like, giga stacked while his other lanes are going fine. Like, getting stacks, I mean, while the other lanes are going fine. Like, those are obviously bad situations. But if you're winning against an Alk, you don't have to stop him from farming. You just have to close off as much of the map as possible and only let them farm, like, the triangle and, like, creep waves that are in front of their towers. That is enough to, like, keep increasing your net worth lead against an Alchemist lineup. So that's what we're doing here. Not a huge deal that Alk's farming. I don't feel pressure to, like, stop the Alk because we're so far ahead. Like, I know his team is not farming. Like, this Alk is farming, sure, but his team is not. And you'll see that, I think you can see that in the net worths at the end of the game here, just to show, like, what the net result of this is. Not even at the end of the game, like at 30 minutes, you can see the net worths. I end up being on top, but, like, it's Alk and then way down LC Sniper and all three recorded. Like, this is the net distribution, that's fine. Like, Alk is allowed to be farmed as long as his team is not. So that lets me play like this. I'm just chilling, farming, waiting for my ult to come back up. My team gets into a fight mid. We trade 1-for-1, but my Ricky dies. Not ideal, but, like I said, it's not this isn't the worst thing in the world. And this is why I'm happy I'm greeting it up, right? Like, my ult wasn't ready for that. My team did something anyways. But if you're being greedy while your team's doing dumb stuff when, like, you wouldn't be ready to fight anyways, like, that's why it's good that you're, like, being greedy in this situation. Here, my Huskar dies again. I try and save him. It doesn't work. We do get a really nice stolen Chain Frost, though, so that was pretty sick. And then we do get out with this Bullwhip. Bullwhip's a really good item on Dawnbreaker. Every time I picked it up on him, it feels really good. The mana regen is super nice. The move speed is also super nice. And here we, like, the Ricky respawns, and we pick up everybody. So, Bullwhip, Pog item. And here, playing for the greed again, split pushing waves, where nobody else is. And then playing safe, right? They have a Legion who's alive, I don't see, so... definitely play safe still, even though you're being greedy. Get my Blink Dagger here. I think Blink Dagger is kind of must go on Dawnbreaker. Unless you have, like, a ton of other initiation. Here I have my ult coming up soon and I'm low, and I see my team's, like, doing stuff, so I make the TP back to base just in case they need me to ulti in. I don't want to be on, like, no health, no mana. But then I start farming again, right? I've got my ult up. I'll help my team if they need it. I tell them to go into Rosh. And then I see a good opportunity to use my ult, and we get a kill on this Alk. But you can see my Huskar dies again during that, right? And my Ricky dies. So, like, You can see the kind of game this is, right? My team is like, like they I don't know why the Huskar wasn't just finishing Roche there, right? Your team's just making sus plays, so you need to be the smart one, and you need to itemize and greed it up a little bit, you know? And like, I haven't stolen my Ricky's farm or anything, right? I'm just playing a little bit slower and making sure I'm soaking up all the farm I can, and still playing with my team when it's smart, right? Like when I have my ult, all that jazz. So being really efficient here in the jungle. Kind of going to wait for my team to do something again. Their team has a little more space now, but like I feel like I'm farming so well that, you know, it's like, okay. I'm not, this is the kind of game where you can't like tell your team to go do stuff because they're just like playing like crazy people, right? Really nice fight here that my team sets up, even though we don't have our whole team. We get to go on the Alk. I'm like, okay. And then luckily, we get the jump on the sniper right after. And then the LC did get his duel off, but on a support. So really good fight for us. I tell my team go Roche, but this is where I greed it up again, right? I'm like, I'm just going to farm. If they're not going to go Roche or something, right? Like, I'm just going to be farming. I don't do the Roche, right? The Huskar does the Roche. I'm just worried about farming. So I pressure this tower. I could have backed up and farmed, but I thought that A, maybe we could take it. B, maybe we could force a reaction over here instead of near the Roche pit. And my whole idea here is I'm going to back off the instant anybody shows. Like, if they're going to defend this tower, I'm like, out of here, out of here. I see LC mid, so I stay and, like, cut the wave again. I get hit by sniper, and then I see him walk out, so I instantly back up. My Rubik, you know, just hanging around their triangle, I don't know, like feeding or something. But I'm farming. We get the Aegis. You can see my Rubik ends up dying, my Ricky ends up dying. I don't know what they're doing, right? Like, I did not want to do that. And I'm going a Daedalus, right? I'm like, alright, I'm carrying this game. The Daedalus is really good on Dawn. I didn't think going back for the Deso made sense. They don't really have any super low armor heroes. Sniper's gonna have armor, Alk's gonna have armor, LC like doesn't have a ton of armor, but he's like a strength hero. I don't know, I guess Zeus and Lich die, but they already have Ghost Scepters, so I didn't go for the I didn't want to go back for the Deso. Again, it's like, at this point you want to scale. So also I thought I'd have slot issues. I'm like farming really well, right? So if I go for Deso, I'm gonna have slot issues like super quick. So go for the Daedalus. Again, my Huskar is dying for no reason. This is why I'm going the build I am going. Playing really safe again. Ready to re-engage if we need to. And you can see we've still continued to shut down like their farm, right? The net worth distribution is what it looked like at the end of the game, right? We are having a good game. We are farming. The Alk is like kind of farming, but their team is not. I told my team I didn't have my ults, but again, I'm just kind of greeting it up. I'll have my ult soon. They're like getting caught in their triangle. Like, I told my team we didn't have to be doing anything right now, and they just don't listen. What can you do but carry them? Here, this is pretty greedy, but I saw the Alk nearby, and I was like, stealing all these camps from the Alk is like really good. And then Mariki shows up, so go for him. He gets out. Always going back to get the lanes. No reason not to. I've got my ult now, so like I'm happy to join my team wherever anything's gonna happen. And I'm not really afraid of dying to them. Maybe I should be, but I feel pretty strong at this point. Look at the Zeus. We are now godlike. And here we can finally start getting some towers, I think. Although my Huskar's not here. I'm a little scared here. My Huskar's not here. And, like, I still maybe die to this LC plus Alk. But we get some nice vision. Take the tower. Finally get the outpost. And this is the thing, right? Is, like, we never had, like, this Aegis advantage. Because my Huskar, like, kept dying with the Aegis. Or would just die randomly during a fight. So we never, like, had this opportunity to just group up and take a tower. And it's okay that, like, the game got delayed. Because we were playing the map correctly and keeping the lane shoved in. And they weren't farming a lot. So there was, like, not that much pressure to group up and, like, have to, like, get something done, right? Here we get a really nice pick on the sniper with some good vision. And I think here, yeah, we TP away. If my team wants to push the tower, they can. I have my ult. I'll come in if they need it, but otherwise, still looking to greed it up a bit. Continue my item progression. In games like this, your team is liable to throw. You know it, I know it, so, you know, be smart, right? Don't like, give up and get casual about it, right? Like, they have an Alk sniper. Like, if we let them back into this game, it is going to be super hard. So, don't let up the pressure. Don't, like, stop farming just because you, like, think, like, oh, we're definitely going to win this game now, right? Like, especially if you're in these games, you're like, oh, I need to carry this game. Like, don't let your guard down. So we were just being super greedy. And by greedy, I also mean efficient. Like, we were just going from camp to camp super quick. This hero farms giga fast. I mean, I'm out farming an alchemist this game, right? Like, this Alk's, like, not really free farming. Like, we are winning fights here and there, and, like, he's dying. But it's still an alchemist, right? And we're still out farming an alchemist who, like, I think his team is giving him all the space that they have. So, being really efficient, just getting all the camps. We swept through the jungle, and then swept back through the jungle. Now we're back at the lane. See them kind of hanging out here. Always ready to join my team if I need to. Take out this Alk's Illusions. Alka's like Radiant Samantha build. Like it's 2015 or something. And just to go to my items a little bit more, I just want to tank up with the Overwhelming Blink. I'll slow it down here. I just want to tank up with the Overwhelming Blink. It's a really nice item to increase your burst, and it cancels Blink Daggers. Not super relevant here, but it increases my tankiness and damage, which is, like, I thought good enough. There wasn't, like, a clear next item. The Basher is decent. I go the Basher just because it's good against the LC. Like, if I get dueled, you can, like, sometimes you bash the LC and it, like, decreases the damage that you're taking by a lot. Or by a little. I didn't really want to go AC because I thought it wasn't enough damage. I could have, though. And I didn't need a BKB this game. I thought I had the Starbreaker stuff, and, like, the Zeus is going to be outputting damage, like, before and after the BKB. And I was so far ahead, also. I was like, I don't need a BKB. So here we get not a save on the Jakiro, but we delay the fight a little bit. And this fight ended up going bad. I thought it was going to go okay. But then this Legion was really tanky because he had the Lich Frost armor. But we kited it out. Our team went back in. And luckily we waited on the side. And we were ready to, like, re-engage. And you can see that Zeus just got obliterated. And then we do clean up their whole team here. So the fight didn't go well to start. I was a little worried. I almost died. But then we did clean it up. Even if I had died there, maybe my team would have cleaned it up. But this is why we were super greedy and went tanky items, right? So that we do not die in those situations. And, yeah, Daedalus is not a tanky item, but we went back for the tanky item. And we're just a tanky hero in general. So they're dead on a bunch of heroes, but we do not go high ground that well. So I'm telling my team, like, just chill, keep farming, keep increasing our lead, and just take the next Roshan, right? How do you go high ground? You take Roshan. So that's what we're doing. This guy kills illusions, farm his ancients. This Alk's getting no farm. I know it. Our lead is huge in the net worth. And I was telling my team here, and they were kind of listening. I was like telling them to just chill, wait for Roshan. And sometimes your team won't listen, and that's why if my team didn't listen, I would be doing this exact same thing. I would be farming for myself, chilling, taking the safe defensive farm. I've got my ult ready if I need to contribute. But, you know, basically just keep farming and don't participate in whatever dumb thing they do. Luckily, my team doesn't do anything dumb here, but, like, sometimes your teams in this exact situation will just, like, get into a fight. They'll, like, go on somebody they see right outside of a tower or something. Like, something obviously a really bad fight, and you don't have to join that shit. If you're just, like, farming it up and scaling really hard, it's, like, okay if your team gets wiped. It's not good, but it's not, like, game losing as long as you're farming and not joining them and making it worse. So here my team does Rosh. Good for them. And I'm telling him, okay, now just control this area, and we just continue to outfarm them. That's what I want him to do. So going back for mana, I used a lot of it farming. I just wanted to be at full mana again, in case I needed to ult in. Here, I didn't think we needed to force it, honestly. I thought it was kind of weird that we were forcing it, but, you know, this is what your team will do, right? I told them, like, don't force it, guys. Like, we don't have to force it here, but they did. They jump in. I'm like watching the whole time, right? And then I kind of late. I should slow down. Kind of late, I realized that like my Huskar's getting dueled. So it's a little bit after this. Yeah, the sniper gets jumped, which this Ricky is insane. And I realized a little late that my Huskar's getting dueled. At the last second, I come in and it saves my Huskar. And the LC dies. And then I do kite out a bit because my Q is on cooldown. I want to be able to blink back in. We do lose the Aegis, but they lost their sniper and LC. So that basically ends the game. And you can see that I had a lot of patience. I thought my team was doing dumb stuff, and I just decided I wanted to solo carry the game. And that's basically what I did. Like, the key here is that you just don't get distracted or baited by what your team is doing. Remember, they were arguing with each other during this. Like, I muted multiple people on my team this game just so that I would not get triggered myself. I still like talked to them and told them what I wanted to do. And like if they do it, great. If they don't do it, so be it. But this is how like I go about like solo carrying the game. And I've done this. You can do this on a lot of different heroes. Like I've done this on like Sand King. Like back when Sand King was a decent hero. He hasn't been good in like a while, but I spammed a lot of Sand King at one point. And if I was in a game like this, and I was like, okay, I need to like be like the core. And this can also be the case just so like your other lanes get kind of owned. And you're like having a good game and nobody else is. This can also like come into effect. But if you are like a Sand King, like I'll go Sanj and Kaya and like Overwhelming Blink and like Shiva's or Radiance or something. And like be like a huge damage dealer that can like win fights by himself, you know, or do tons of damage and like take out their carry or something. So you can do this on all kinds of heroes. Pretty much any offlane hero you can kind of do this. Maybe not like a Beastmaster. Like I don't really know how you do this on Beastmaster. Even if you're having a really good game, I don't know if Beastmaster like solo carries the game, but on most offlane heroes you can do this, like Mars, Dawnbreaker, you know, playing like Marcy offlane. Centaur, you can kind of do it with like a magic damage. Razor, obviously, you can do it. So don't be afraid. Like if you're in a game like this where you just need to like scale to like do it. And you know, I don't do this every game. I don't like go into every game like from the start thinking like, oh, I'm gonna need to solo carry this game. My team's all trash. But I know there are games where you the game starts and, you know, 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by, and you're like, all right, this game is not being played by the best and brightest that the people, you know, that my MMR bracket has to offer. And, you know, drastic measures are necessary. So hopefully you can learn from this video and implement this concept in your own games, own your own games, solo carry them from the off lane. You can even do this from mid. And obviously you want to be doing it from carry if you're a carry player, no matter what. But hopefully you guys like that video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments or just rant about the bad teammates that you have in your bracket, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the video description. You can join my Discord there, and there's all the information there on how to sign up.